What's up? How we doing? Doing a lot better this week, guys. A lot better this week. This is one account. Here's my other account, my alternative account, so you guys could see. I haven't really. I took a trade on this and then hit a bit. Took a loss, so it's about break even right now. I took a trade. I exited halfway through because it was showing a lot of weaknesses instead of just holding through. It would have not made it to my take profit anyway, which was you could say is a good exit, but again, wasn't sticking to my strategy for that specific trade. We'll see what this does here. Let me go ahead and outline what my belief is for the higher and lower time frame. Let me see. Here to lower low. I don't know what to think of this. I think I'm bullish, but we have a period where we could break down and grab some liquidity. So I think I am going to be bearish. Let me go ahead and write that down for you. I think I'm going to say minimum 850, 29,850. 29,850, and I'll make this bigger for you guys. That's kind of what I have, what I'm thinking about right now. Is I'm bearish until that point. So the 29,850, maybe a little bit too low. No, I still stand by that. Actually, yeah, I still stand. I think we're gonna grab the liquidity. So 850, a little bit below 850, wherever this 847 is. I'm bearish, even though the candle is still showing bullishness. So if I do see some sort of counter break, then I might take a trade down, even though I don't really want to. Our higher time frame is also bearish as well. So we're moving down. So it's and this is more so of we're hitting a rejection area. That does not mean I still think there is a high potential chance that we could come up and grab this 29,900 as well. I'm gonna say actually mixed. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna say it could go up to 29,900. I think. That's kind of the two areas I'm looking at, depending on the setup it gives me. I would prefer to see a setup to the top side right now, but I wouldn't mind a entry either way. This is the only account I'm really working on and I'm mostly trading right now. Hey, what's up, Robinson? How you doing? This is the only one I'm looking for an entry right now. To be honest, it's one of those things that this is my other account. These are both funded account challenges. So just to be very transparent with everyone. I'll be live for an hour, and then I'll be live tomorrow before I have to leave around 12 o'clock. So I'll be live around 10:30 tomorrow. Hopefully see a setup. That's my main thing. So I have that. There is liquidity right below here. So all that means is just an area where I could think it could grab and still continue this trend to the upside. So the liquidity is resting right here. This market looks a lot better than it did last week. And it's been a lot more easy to trade. I just need to stop, not even touch the market or live stream or anything if the market's bad. It's not worth my time. I could do other stuff more beneficial for myself. All right, let's see how this reacts. This is still bearish. If I was really risky, I could look for a grab up here or a grab down there, but this is just showing mixed. And if I look at the current trend of where we're at right now, we're consolidating. So this consolidation could be a liquidity grab, downwards and a continuation up. This is kind of what I'm looking at actually, is either A, it does this, A, it does, oh, let me fix this for you guys. I think A, it does this, moves down, and then potentially bounces up from here. Or it does the same thing, is it shows this little micro entry and then continues down to this second liquidity over here where it would act as a change of structure and potentially a further move. However, I still would want to see this continue up. I think the first one's more likely. I don't really see this blasting straight up to this 2,900 immediately, but that would be an ultimate take profit area. If it does that, then, you know, I got caught out and that's okay. I don't think this made a higher high either. Yeah. Let's see if it forms anything here. It would be willing. No, it didn't form my gap I wanted to see. Okay, we'll see how this reacts. So you guys can see. So technically the lower time frame is bullish. This higher time frame is showing a temporary downside potential. So it's just conflicting, it's mixed. And when it's mixed, you really just want to stay out of the market other than for short scalps. So let's see what happens here. Yeah. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. This is mostly for my own journal to see what thoughts go through my head. I really, you know, it sounds rude, but I really don't care if I get watched by anyone. This is more so for accountability. You could see sometimes some streams I have like 30 viewers, some streams I'll have 1 viewer. So I really honestly, the only thing that I would care about if people would support me on the app I love because I use it so much, but for whatnot. Yeah, if no one has any questions, let me go ahead and see. Okay, cool. But yeah, it looks like we're moving up to that 2,900. We decided to hold this bullish stance. We'll see if this actually continues up to the liquidity up here. I'm still a little bit skeptical on that end. It already made 2 tops here, so at the very least, now I'm looking at something like this maybe. You see, we might be able to see a grab down here into this second area and then continuation up, or this might be a rejection a third time at this point. Again, nothing that you really would want to take in the market right now just because it's conflicting on the higher time frame and lower time frame if you're a scalper. If you are trading, let me go to the hour time frame. The hour gives, again, a mixed response. Yes, we're moving upwards. The issue with the hour is this could easily, from all my markings right here, this could easily grab this candle. This could easily grab this area down here. And especially since we're at a rejection zone right now, you need to be very careful if you're trading or scalping, whatever you're doing to trade this. You got to be very careful. We're at the highest gap. We're at the highest point. Usually we'll grab some liquidity before it makes this move up here. But the beneficial thing is sometimes it likes to come up a little bit higher. So it likes to grab this top liquidity, then move down. So, I mean, I would steer maybe towards some sort of bullish move if we get some liquidity, some short-term liquidity. So that one I marked before. So if we get this grab right here and then we instantly reject, then I would look for a short-term move. Or if we hold this change of structure right here, so moving from bear structure to moving upwards right here, then you could even take a smaller risk if we move back into a discounted zone. So if anyone's watching the videos, discounted zone, this kind of area right here. Hey, what's up, soccer girl? How's it going? How you guys doing today? Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it, guys. So I'm looking right here. I want to see how this holds. And again, I apologize if I don't respond immediately or if there's tailored questions to, what my strategy is. I have a lot of that stuff already posted. and you'll see me how I enact it. A lot of what I do is I like people to think of a grocery store. Um, if you go to buy something that's at a discounted price at a grocery store or online, right? What are you going to look for? Like at 25%, you're going to buy it? Maybe not. It's not going to convince you. But at 80%, that's a good convincing deal, right? So if I'm trying to buy in a higher time frame move that's moving upwards right now, like let's say my higher time frame is clearly moving upwards, I'm going to buy my trade at a discounted zone. I'm going to buy it as discounted as possible. Um, and so that's what my Fibonacci does, is I just use it as a discount. So my discount is anywhere from 55% off to 80% off, because if it gets to 95% off, what do you think at a grocery store? It's a scam, right? It's a clearance. It's a scam. Why would I even take that chance? So that's what I do with anything. Is with my one trade, if I have a clear bias one direction, I like to use my Fibonacci strategy. If I knew there's going to be some sort of liquidity grab, or if I think that price is going to grab some sort of structure before moving further, then I'm going to use my inverse fair value gap break type of strategy. And both of those are listed on my channel. Both of them have a lot of ideas that have been present for a long period of time and just thrown together and back tested and forward tested thoroughly. So just making sure you implement it correctly before you copy anyone's strategy online, no matter who trades anyone's strategy online. But I usually go live for an hour on end. Tomorrow I'm going to aim for being live 10:30, 11. And then I'll have to leave around 11:50. I have to make it somewhere around 12 o'clock. It's a 10-minute drive. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I think this will hold. I do genuinely think this will hold. After grabbing, since we grabbed here, I think this will hold and break up and grab this liquidity up here. It looks like it already held on that candle. And I'll show you my other time frames since they are already marked for you. So here's my 2000 time frame. You could see like we're kind of hesitating at this area. We are forming some sort of bullish breakout right here. It's just my highest time frame, the 30-minute, which I use for the highest during Asia session. I just don't like this rejection area, but I am generally bullish biased right now. I think I've determined that for myself. That's where I want to, rest at. Let's see if this gives me a setup one way or the other. If this holds, if this decides to move up. Realistically, this isn't even a bad trade right here. I honestly, if this held a bullish candle, if this holds a gap right here, I would even mind taking a little scalp, to be honest. Let me see if I could draw a line where I do this. I've done this before, because this is just as feasible as anything, is I just take a small scalp like this. And honestly, the reason why is it's holding this bullish move. If we close this gap, then that means it could come down for a retest. Once we break this liquidity, you move your stop to break even. And that's the strategy I've seen people use before. You haven't broken, so you don't move your stop to break even. You want to see a clear break. No clear break, wouldn't move your stop to break even. This is not my strategy. This is just a strategy I've tested before. It works. It's hard during Asia session, especially because of the fees and commissions to get it right. But usually if you hold this gap, you could wait for a bullish candle. You can target a 1-to-1. Some people will target a 1-to-1 here, or a 1-to-1.1 to get above a 50% win rate. Target a 1-to-1.5, so you only need a 42% win rate, and then you could target a 1-to-2, so you only need like 35% with fees and commission. But once you hold a break above here, you move your stop to break even, and you hope it just continues up here. And that's all it is. And then you could trail with each individual green candle if you wanted to, however you want to play that strategy. I would have music, but I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't think you want to listen to ads. I really don't think you guys want to listen to ads today. So I don't have Spotify Premium. I refuse to get that anymore. I was using the free trial before. So let's see, would you get stopped out for break even? You would keep your stop below this breakout point right here to see if it would hold and move up any further. And then once it breaks above this area right here, you would actually move your stop below here because that would be the new high. So you would see if this moves up, you can't, stop loss would still be where it is right now. See if this candle confirms the move. That's what you would want to wait for. Doesn't confirm it, you keep your stop loss where it is. Again, you can see, you could tell I'm not in a trade right now for everyone watching. All right, let's see if it moves up. Let's see if it moves up further. All right. At this point, I would probably just take a 1-to-1, see if it trails up. If another green candle shows, doesn't show, probably just would take the 1-to-1. It's showing too much weakness. You would want to see a blast off past this point. Realistically, if we are going to even move up further here, you would want to see this blast off a lot further, but you didn't see that. So you could hold this. You could see how it reacts here if you really wanted to. I mean, some people would be in break even. I'm just going, again, I'm just trying to make this entertaining for people that maybe have different ideas about strategies. Again, the reason I want people to think of this, okay? You can think of it in discounts, okay? Discounts is one option, okay? You can also think of price as phases. So if anyone's ever heard accumulation, things like that from typical trader type things, trader portfolios, you can also identify that through multiple areas in the market. So for example, if you look at my higher time frame, the 30-minute, what are we in right now? What are we in right now? So I mean, we've already consolidated. So we're moving upwards. We're in an upward phase. Okay. So we're in an upward phase. So we're moving up. That should be an arrow. Sorry, guys. So we're moving up on the higher time frame. Okay, moving up in the higher time frame. What type of phase are we at on this, which is visible within this area? Same exact thing. We've already consolidated right here. We moved up in a phase. We've consolidated again. It looks like we're moving up in the phase right here. But we did just grab liquidity. So if you were looking for a discount here, you could look for something like this. You could look for a low right here to get a discount, get a better entry. I'm buying at a discounted price. I'm buying at a sell price, right? We buy at a sell price right here. You now targeted 1 to 2. But again, the only risk factor that I'm mentioning here is if we look overall at this market, are you at a discount price on the higher time frame as well, catching this initial after this consolidation, this move upwards? No, the discounted price would be, was this Friday? Yeah, would be on Friday at this point. This is where your ideal entry would be because you just confirmed a higher high. You can look for the discount around here after confirming this higher high that we're moving up, which I was struggling this past week, be honest. But same thing right here. After the consolidation, you have the strong candle. You can confirm the price to move upwards. After this strong move and the strong rejection, you can confirm the price is moving upwards. And I can guarantee once we do grab this high, we're probably going to show some sort of rejection again, hard rejection to liquidity before moving up again, or potentially showing a deeper retest. But liquidity will be grabbed before we do anything, most likely. This is, again, one of the two challenges I'm trying to pass after having a difficult time with my funded one. This is the day, risking $200. I won 3 trades. I won 2 trades. This is also today 2 separate trades, 1 break even, 1 half profit. So that's how it's been today. And you can see how we're still holding the break-even point right there. Still holding this micro break is what I like to call it. I don't actually know what the exact term is for it, but we have a micro break right here. Usually liquidity will bounce off this and it'll see some sort of reaction. If it doesn't bounce and show a strong reaction out of this, again, same thing, I would want to get out. But this is showing a okay bounce, I guess. It's not really showing me anything special, so it would be up to self-decision, whatever your decision would be. But if this thing closes red, then you might as well just take any profit at this point. This thing is definitely coming down. This candle especially, if this closes red, you really just want to take any profit at that point if you were in this trade. Closes green, showing some strength. Can we hold? Again, I'm not in this trade for anyone wondering. This is just an example trade from a different strategy that I pointed out. It was from this candle direction through a fair value gap. You look for a strong bullish candle. So I see a lot of people trade this strong bullish candle. You trade the entry on this candle right after this candle confirms. Red candle, slow of volume. Really, again, depends on this candle, how it closes. If you would want to get out, you probably would get stopped out before, but I would get out. Yeah, you would get taken out for break even. That's fine. But you could have gotten a 1-to-1 with that. I don't actually think you could get more here. Let me see. I think it's maybe a 1 to 1.5 if you trade that. Would it have worked out that time? Sometimes it does work out. Let me give you a better example. A lot of times I like looking at these examples right here, where you have the same exact microstructure right here, which is still technically a higher high, higher low. You look for a discounted price. So you look for price to move back into the discount, right? So I mentioned that discount a second ago. And the reason why this works is because this does break a previous high in the direction of the higher time frame trend. So we broke that previous high, higher time frame trend, discount price. Same exact method as before. You could just trade it discount at that point at the order block. Stop loss there before. Target a 1 to 2, 1 to 1.5, 1 to 1. Usually 1 to 1s work really well for just immediate entries, or 1 to 1.5s. Once you get around the 1 to 2 mark, it gets a little bit sketchy in terms of without confirmation. But a 1 to 1 works really well for this type of strategy. Just be careful that you're analyzing the higher time frame. I can give you another example as well. Let me see. It wasn't much in the past few days, to be honest. Oh, here's one. Here's an example where you didn't get any confirmation of a further break after the point. So we have this, right? Where did my line go? Let me boot that back. So we have this, right? We have the immediate break. You have this microstructure, which did confirm on the micro, and you have a pull back down. Let's say if you immediately entered here, you would have gotten stopped out. That's an example where it doesn't work out. But if you look very closely at this, is this actually a break? Not really. No, that would be considered. That would be a loss. Let's see another example. Here's another example. This is a good one. So once we confirm that we're not holding this break right here, we fell, and then we fell for a second time, right? We have another microstructure that forms right here. Microstructure. We break the low right there. Same exact entry. You look for the discount of the structure. Up here, hits the discount of my structure. Where do I want at least 55% off, preferably around 60, 65% off. So on the Fibonacci, that would be the 0.45 area, the 0.35 area. You can look even for a bearish engulfing candle, take it on the bearish out of your discount price, or you could just enter immediately targeting a 1 to 1. Generally it works really well as a strategy. Target a 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5 if you don't feel confident about getting a 50% win rate. And then we repeat. That's the only important high. And the reason why this is an important high, and these aren't important highs, is this is within structure. This is breaking down from a break of a high. So once we get the second confirmation that's breaking down from a break of a high, that's where you get the confirmation maybe there is a move lower, okay? So that's why when you see these price points, for example, we see this price point, this is a high, and this doesn't grab liquidity is because this high and this high is confirming that it's not going to break further past this higher time frame high, okay? So then at that point, a breakdown point is viable, and most likely it won't come down for liquidity. If you also need further confirmation on that, that you're not going to get liquidity grabbed, just look at the fair value gaps again. Is there anywhere that liquidity could grab? Yeah, the small space. But if we look at the separate one, the second microstructure that formed right here, right? We have the second microstructure that formed right here. Is there anywhere liquidity can grab? Yeah, there's a huge area of liquidity right here, right above it. And then that's where my inverse fair value gap strategy comes in, where if it grabs that liquidity, look what it forms on that break. If it forms that same exact gap, and you wait for a closure of that gap to confirm that it's continuing the higher time frame trend, which we did see. You see a confirmation, and then you target a 1 to 2. And for my inverse fair value gap, it's always a 1 to 2, trailing with the next red candle following the, following the take profit level. So then I just trail it down each individual candle. So let's go to, let's say we entered on this position somewhere right there. We get a 1 to 2. This one we get stopped out, but let's say we entered a little bit lower on that fair value gap. We still wouldn't get taken out at that point, and you would enter on the next green candle, which would be down here. So you get a little bit extra. So you get about a 1 to 2.5. Sorry. I know I went a little bit rant there, but hopefully it's helpful for people. So we can see how this reacts right here. So we did break above. Do you remember that microstructure I told you about? So let's see how this reacts here. I'm going to go ahead. So we have our discount zone down here, right? We have our discount zone. Let's see how this reacts at this area. And once we break below this low. And I just genuinely want to see how it reacts around this area, because this isn't a high. This didn't break this previous high. This is the first area that broke this previous high. This grabbed that liquidity, right? And this is the first time we've created a lower low through this liquidity. So we want to see how this reacts. If this breaks above this point, we see something like this, maybe we'll take the trade larger, even though I genuinely just don't want to. If it breaks above that point, we'll look for a discount zone down here, okay, for a break higher. If this confirms the move and does that little microstructure play right here, then I might look for a microstructure entry as long as it fills my gaps down into this discount zone, preferably this red candle down here. And this would be more likely a 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5 trade. And I would just decide at that point, do I want to take that entry? Do I want to take that risk? So let's see, it does something like this, or it does something like this. If it does anything else, I'm not looking to get in the trade. I'll be honest, guys, I spent so much time looking back over my mistakes, what was different from the past few months, a few months that I was doing really well versus a few months I was doing really poor. Realistically, the thing is not necessarily sticking to my strategy was the only issue. It was the fact I was analyzing the higher time frame incorrectly, and I was getting into trades with mixed time frames, which was killing me. So I just need to be very careful. If I am going to get in those trades, I'm going to close my losses very quickly, and I'm going to minimize my losses and move break even if there's any sort of signal that's not. But if the higher time frame is in my favor, then yes, the other way, I'll hold my trade. So we'll see how this reacts here. I don't actually know if that, I don't think it did. I created equal lows. So we'll see how this reacts here. But if anyone has any questions, I know when I went on a huge tangent. If anyone does have any questions, feel free to ask. Please just make it, if you're new or anything like that, I can teach you some basic stuff. Just realize that a lot of time that I've spent into this is still being put towards the market itself for me, compared to, I still like educating people, but there's also a lot of videos where I've done that, a lot of live streams. You've also have a lot of live streams where you could see me get emotional, get upset, get angry, lose my, I'm not going to say the word in case there are any kids, under the age of 18, but all right, so let's see if we form that microstructure. I would not like it to be an immediate candle down because that's usually going to be some liquidity that's grabbed. We do have liquidity up here that can be grabbed. This is a confirm of the low right here. So you could but we still have liquidity above it. So I just want to see how this reacts here. We have all this up here that it still could react off of. We did create that lower low, so I'm just looking to see how it reacts here. By the way, if you are interested in seeing my journey to hopefully eventually becoming, my main goal is a millionaire. But realistically, my main goal is not financial. As my main goal is just being consistent. I've done this for so long, guys. It's really bad. For me, it's really demoralizing. The point I'm at where I've been profitable for a year at a time, and then I've been profitable for multiple years after that due to impulsive trading, due to forgetting things, and a lot of that came down to me not journaling properly, me not analyzing the time frame, me switching strategies over the first 4 years of tradings. So I'm trying to be consistent. I'm gonna try my best. I'm also I'm a doctoral student, so I'm finishing my PsyD. Gold market, I do trade gold. Gold is a worse win rate for me, so I just want to let you guys know that before. Give me 1 second, okay? Let me see if this trade pins out for me. See if I could get a trade off this. It gives me anything here. I don't necessarily know if I like this. And I'll go over the gold market in just 1 second for you guys. Let's see if I could get an entry. This is near the bottom of a range. Yeah, no problem. I'll try to talk a little bit. I don't know. Usually, I don't know how good some people's English are because I know I get a lot of people from overseas, especially at this time. So just let me know if you need me to talk slower. That was my confirmation, and I just looked away for a second. I'll be honest. This would have been the trade. I'll go to market just because so people can see. I would probably target a 2.5 here just because of the fees and commissions are going to kill me with this type of a stop loss. This was the trade. Realistically, I could target this liquidity, but you don't really want to take that big of a risk here. I could also probably target down here to this gap, but we'll see if it works out. I missed it. I missed the trade. That's okay. Someone, I got a suggestion. Okay. All right. We'll come back to that. Let me go to gold for you. I'm going to mark it out very simple. Okay. I gotta switch these two, my higher and lower time frame. We'll just do a top-down analysis, I'll be honest. What time frame do you usually trade on? If you're looking for a market strategy, I think I have multiple languages on YouTube Translate. Or you can also take the transcript and read it while I am gold. So this is MGC, so it is gold. It's just the futures. It's the gold futures market. What time frame do you trade on? So I don't analyze it on like a minute time frame. If you don't trade the minute. I want to show this quickly too. I'm switching right back. Don't worry. Uh, 1 to 2 was hit. 1 to 3 was hit for you guys. Same exact thing I was calling out right there. Okay, what? I'm gonna trade based off of a moderate time frame. I know a lot of people trade on the 5-minute on gold, so I'm gonna trade on the 5-minute time frame. Okay. So I'm gonna do a top down from the 5-minute for you guys. Let's go to the 4 hours. For 5-minute time frames, you look at 2 time frames or 3 time frames, okay? You look at the 4-hour, the 30-minute, and the 5-minute, or you look at the you could also look at the daily, the hour, and the 5-minute. Those are 3 options, but you realistically still need a higher and lower time frame, okay? So let's look at this as objectively as I possibly can. So realistically, we're in a difficult area on the 4-hour time frame, okay? This was our previous high. This was our previous low, okay? We created a low. We never confirmed the next low. Okay, so this is our last low, okay? So this is the previous trend that we're in. We're still moving downwards. We're still moving downwards technically. So if we zoom out, now we can look at our higher time frame. And what did I just mention a second ago? Sorry, guys. Whoa. We have this higher micro high and micro low. All right. So that gives me an idea of what I think gold would do. And again, this is opinion. This is based off my experience. Please take everything with a grain of salt. I do not trade gold regularly anymore. It's not my main pair. My main pair is NASDAQ. That's all I trade. I don't touch it. My win rate was not something I was happy with, so I don't touch it. So let me look at this. So we have this. So I'm going to go ahead and write bearish 4 hours. And all bearish means is it's downwards trend on the 4-hour time frame, okay? This is for gold. Downwards trend on the 4-hour time frame for gold, okay? I want everyone to recognize this. We are near the top of this trend. We are near discount. So there's 2 things that could happen here. We can switch the trend by continuing the strong move upwards, okay? Which you would trade this as if you're continuing the strong move upwards, or we can change the trend, and that will require consolidation. So gold is either going to do one of 2 things, okay? We're going to see a blast from around this area. You see this drawn area right here? We're either going to see this retest down here and blast up, or retest down here and blast up. And you just want to wait for confirmation with a strong green candle, okay? Gold likes grabbing liquidity. I will say that multiple times. Gold likes grabbing liquidity. This is less likely of an outcome than this is. So because gold likes grabbing liquidity, most likely it's going to do this, okay? It's going to move back into this gap and then potentially move higher. Or I can even foresee this just moving straight up, okay? But since we have not switched trends, I have to be, based off of logic, a bearish trader. I have to think that this price is going to move down before it breaks this high. So the second option that I would have, okay, is a bearish option. So let me go ahead and copy and change this to red. Red for moving down, okay? Wait, let me actually switch this. Sorry, guys. Ugh. All right. So the second option we have, okay, is we see this area on the left side over here, right? We have this inverse fair value gap. I mean, not inverse fair, we have this order block, okay? So if my analysis is correct, and this is holding as a microstructure and not a further move back upwards, which I said both can be possible. This will most likely either break straight up, grab this liquidity, and then consolidate, or in consolidation is moving sideways, similar to what we did right here. So this was moving sideways, okay? So since this moved sideways for so long, all right, I think that's a possible outcome. Or you'll start to see something a little bit different, okay? You're going to start to see this. Oh my God. Can I get a brush? You're going to start to see it do this. All right. And then it's going to break a low. It's going to come up and break down before we ever break this high. If you see this structure right here, that is your time to sell. If it never breaks above this high and it forms some sort of liquidity sweep, then this is your time to sell, and a confirmation below. That's your time to sell downwards, potentially coming for this, potentially coming for this, potentially coming for this, but at least getting a 1 to 2. So your so your favors in hand. Or you're going to see something like this on gold. And this is all in the 4 hour on. I want everyone to be aware, okay? 4 hours, we're going to see this come up here, consolidate, retest, and continue with the trend back above, okay? So it could do either one of those. It really is just at a determination point. So I would not trade this market long term. I would be looking for scalps, which is the next thing I'm going to move to, okay? So if I'm looking for scalps on this, let's move to the 15-minute, I guess, and we'll do 15-minute, 1 minute, okay? Now I can look at this and I can say we're in a higher time frame, okay? We're moving upwards. Oh, look at this. We've actually already retested into this high, okay? So since we've retested this high, this is now acting as our previous high. This is now acting as our previous low, okay? So a change of a structure would occur right here on the 15 minutes. So we could do one of two things again. We can move all the way back down to here, break back up, and most likely move down, okay? Maybe grab some liquidity on the way. Or number two, I think there's a potential that we move up from right here. We've already grabbed liquidity. We're still within the favor of moving upwards in a trend right here. We have this inverse fair value gap that I really do think looks very nice. We confirm that by holding this area. So I think what's most likely the outcome on the 15-minute time frame right now, and what I would take as a trade if this wasn't gold, if this was more so M&Q, is I would look to see if this holds, and I would target this liquidity right here, or even this top side liquidity. So these would be my two targets right here. I would target 1, and I would target 2. Okay. And the trade for me, again, that's the key word, because we formed this inverse fair value gap, since we held this, would be something like this. I'm from the United States. So this would be a 1 to 1, and then this would be a 1 to 2. So this would be a trade I think would be potential. My only worry with this is because we're near the high of this 4-hour time frame for you guys, that there is a huge potential this could just fail. Not every night. It's really on the days. I'm going to try on once to twice a week. Sunday nights, usually yes, because I can't trade, New York until tomorrow. And Sundays move very, during Asian session, it has a lot of liquidity, usually on Sundays. The same exact thing with on Thursdays nights as well. So I'm going to try to trade those two. If you missed my trading, you can always look back at a live trading video. I want to let people know this is a journal for my trading. This is not, I know I have it as entertainment. This is not for anyone else but me, and for questions people have for me through the experience I have. I want to be very frank. I had a really bad, very straight with you guys. I had a really bad week last week, like the worst week in my 7 years of trading, in my trading journey. 7 years, worst week last week. So I just want to be very apparent. I spent a lot of time this weekend, plus other things, making sure that, oh, NASDAQ's going up. Did it do my strategy? Oh, no, wait. Oh no, it did exactly what I wanted to see for an entry. No. How's it look? Oh no. That's my perfect entry right there, guys. Oh no, that's my perfect entry on the oh. Yeah. I would even say further, dude. This thing's going up on, if you're a scalper, and this is all I would target, this thing's going up to probably 29,920 now. Oh, that's sad. This would have been my entry, by the way, that fits with my strategy. grab this liquidity right here. I know my screen's a mess right now. Let me take this off. Take all this off. So both of my entries would have been valid. I would have had 2 winning trades if I would have just stuck with my guns. But this is mostly for practice tonight since I already am up $700 on one account. This is my other challenge right now. This is the inverse fair value gap. But so I'll go back to gold quickly just to end it off for you guys. So this is the strat. This is the trade I would be looking for. And specifically, let's say I would move down to the 1 minute time frame on this, because I know a lot of people trade the 1 minute. You can also see, if you just trade market structure, you can see the change of structure right here, right? So if I wanted to wait a little bit longer, we've already kind of confirmed the move higher here. Honestly, this is our change of structure. So this is our high. This is our low. If I wanted to just wait any longer, I can look for an entry down here, stop loss down here, and I could even get a little bit better of a risk to reward. Targeting here for a 1 to 1.8 and a here for a 1 to a 3. And so this, I genuinely do believe this will come up. The risk is, since we're at the high of a 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour, every higher time frame reigns supreme. Just think of it that way. So I am a little bit worried that this is going to get rejected right here and move down lower. And our previous, I also want to mention this, our previous candle was red, so there's a huge chance that this doesn't even hold as well. So I just want everyone to be careful either way. This is mixed market. I would personally not trade it. I wouldn't get into, you can, yeah, it's not a bad trade. I mean, I would have taken it. If I see a retest here, let me go back to MQ. Ooh, if I get a retest here, I may just enter. Yeah, I would have already given me my 1 to 2 here. Let me see. Would this have been a 1 to 2 trade? Where would have my entry would be right here with the inverse fair value gap. Where would I need to see this hit? I would have already been break even on my price by now. Yeah, I need to see this hit. I would probably just target up to the 10 mark up here for a 1 to 1.5. I mean, for a 1 to 2.5. 13 mark. You could enter if you want. I don't think it's bad. I mean, what did I just say? You go from 3 things, right? You go from consolidation, change of structure, to manipulation, since our higher time frame is bullish, manipulation to continuation. So we're getting a continuation right now, hopefully. But I would wait a little bit second. I mean, you also have to think about it. Is this discounted? Are we in a discount of zone? And discount was actually where this candle was. This would have been discount. This is now not discount for me. If this is going to hold a strong move, I again, please take everything with a grain of salt. This is not something I would trade. If this is going to hold a strong move upwards here, honestly, if you want to just see the strong move and this is going to hold this move, I would wait to see how it acts on this retest here. If this gives you another confirmation, right now I would keep it right here. Right now I would keep it at 29,867. But trail it, look at it very closely. If we break this high right here, I would just trail it each individual candle and profit. I know you could set the stop loss and take profit, but if we break that, I would just trail each candle to make sure there's not a quick rejection off of it. Because if there is a rejection, I would most likely say that it's most likely coming down for this liquidity here if we don't break this high, this 2904. But it looks like it's a good trade so far. I would just be very careful with it on 10 contracts. But your stop loss would genuinely, for my strategy, be down here, all the way down here. 29,868. 29,867. Just be very careful, please. Since it broke that, just be careful. It's showing an opposite entry for me on my strategy, so it's going to come down for this liquidity most likely, like I was just saying. It's going to come down for here most likely. Could be wrong again, but this is my exit criteria right here, so I would be out of this trade by now for me. Doesn't mean it's not going to continue up. We're still in continuation phase after manipulating. So we still are in continuation. But if you feel comfortable holding this on 10 contracts all the way down to here, which is, I think that's like $900 risk, just be careful. Be very careful. I would prefer, like I said, get in the discount area, get in below this low and see if it would hold, see if you get any continuation hold and then enter. But you do you. Whatever you want. I think as long as you have your stop loss down here, it's a higher likelihood it's going to come up and grab this 29,905. Oh, I'm on the tick chart. Let me go to the minute for you. Here's the minute for you. It's the same exact strategy. It's the same exact thing. It actually showed double setup, which is stronger. Because the tick chart is liquidity. The minute chart is time. So if they both show the same exact entry, it's usually a lot stronger of a chart for me. I don't look at both, but I mean, that's just from experience from trading on both of them. I used to trade the strategy on the minute and I couldn't take how volatile it was. This should look the same now, right? Do you see how it switches the ticks right here? You can see the 100 tick right there, and then you can see the 1 minute time frame right here. Though just the one. Like I said, I do think this is going to come down and grab this liquidity down here. I still think it's going to hold this area down here. You can see what my actual strategy would be on the 100 tick, and then you could see what my strategy would be on the 1 minute. My 1 minute would be right here. And I would just want to wait on the 1 minute time frame. I would want to wait to see how it holds this area right here. If it holds this, then I get a better entry one, and then also gives me more confirmation that we're moving up. I think as long as you got an entry around 29.81, 82, it's not the worst. I don't think it's the worst entry. I don't believe this is holding, though. I do think this is going to come down for the retest. Realistically, I would actually want to see if I could get an entry down here, and I can lower my exit area. I think the farthest this thing could potentially go on a retest is around and still be successful, you know, at moving upwards. This is the lowest I think it could go with still being successful at moving higher up. Around 29,875, 873, somewhere around that. But like I said, I think that's why I was saying you want to trail this quickly because it can grab that very quick and move down, grab the opposite end liquidity, the opposite end low. So that's why I said earlier to trail each candle closely if you're on 10 contracts and exit on the first red one, especially after grabbing this liquidity. Because an instant rejection means it's coming down for the bottom one. And now you can look for anyone here. You could also look for a discount down here. And then if there is confirmation, which I would want to, hopefully people would wait for confirmation, then you target all the way back up here around 29,908 for 1 to 3 now. It's a lot of nuances with my strategy particularly. It's not that hard. It's just something you need to recognize that this one often has retest. And you can see down here, if this thing starts to show as bearish it is right here, look at it. Let me see if I could show you guys the higher time frame chart. Can I show you guys this chart? Let me go to the... This is what's showing right now. This is worrying for me if we don't see a rejection on this candle of some sort. This is worrying for me. And like I was saying earlier, the concerning thing about this general trade is that we're at the top of a level. So it does fit my strategy. This is a inverse fair value gap, and I do believe that this will continue upwards. But even with that, do I want to enter it when it's not on a discount of a higher time frame like I was talking about earlier? And that's why I didn't enter this trade, or why I'm not re-entering currently. If it shows me enough confirmation, I might re-enter. But I need to see a lot of confirmation on this move for me to re-enter on this trade. Or to enter in this trade. I didn't even enter it to begin with. So that's the difficult thing. That's why I'm saying, Mino, just be very careful. Make sure that you know how much you feel comfortable with risking if you're still here. Please just be very careful. Because ultimately my strategy entry, you could enter up here and you could put your stop down here and you could just let it move. But just be very careful because, like I was explaining earlier, I don't know if you were here, we are at the top of a range from something that's already manipulated price. We've already seen manipulation up here. So just be very careful that this thing can manipulate again and move down. Oh, I don't trade options. Okay, good. Let's see if this holds. Yeah, this fit my, like I was saying, this did fit my strategy on the going down as well. This would have been my same exact strategy, just bearish. Yeah, right here. This is the one upside. That's why I was, this is the bearish entry. That's why I said when it showed me the inverse fair value gap up here, that would have been my exit criteria. Because it showed me an opposite entry, and opposite entries mean exit for me, usually. This was an opposite entry. I would have just gone straight out. This would have been a 1-to-1 at least, right? I don't actually know. Would that have been a 1-to-1? Then if I got in the very possible best entry, would that have been a 1-to-1? Oh, it would have been a 1-to-2. I would have hit my take profit. Wait, no, I wouldn't. Give me 1 second. Let me see. No, it would have hit a 1-to-1, at least a 1-to-1.5. Showing strength again. We'll see if this holds. Again, I still have that bullish outlook from this liquidity grab. It really just depends, though, on this gap right here. Let me clean my chart up. We have the liquidity down here. We have the higher high right here. This is bearish technically, like you were saying. It is technically bearish, but our higher time frame is still moving upwards. So that's why I have a bullish outlook for me personally. We showed further confirmation. We had this inverse fair value gap right here. Stop loss down here. Take profit up here. Didn't feel comfortable enough because we're at the high of a higher time frame range, even though we are showing bullish movement to take this trade. Hopefully I sound more disciplined than I did on Friday, where I was losing my absolute mind. I don't know what was going on. That was crazy. It showed me a second setup right here on the 500 tick. Second setup right here. Honestly, enough confirmation if I was in this trade to even move my stop loss down here. Add to the position and then just go for a separate 1-to-2 right here. The add to the position would be roughly around here. Second 1-to-2 up here instead of trying to target the full move. But that's up to you. Sometimes sometimes I just set and forget and just leave it right here. Just trying to give alternatives for people who are looking for something. Well, I'll let this trade play out, and then I'm getting off, guys. I'll be live tomorrow for a New York session, New York time, 10:30, most likely. Maybe a little bit late, like 5 minutes late, but yeah, around that time. Depending how easy I could roll out of my bed. See if this trade plays out. I hope it does. Stagnating. I don't like that necessarily. I would want to see a lot of strength come out of this from this break right here. Oh. Sorry if I do over explain or if I don't like, how do I phrase this? I don't mind people take trades after me, but because the market moves so quick. I don't think that probably will actually affect me, but let me see if news come out. I can look quickly. Here, let's see. Where can you guys see it? How do I scroll over? I don't want to change that. News. Forex Factory is not showing any meetings about it. Oil prices climb and stocks dip on stalemate in Iran war. 7 hours ago. Ooh, 37 minutes ago. The market's going to react bullish and then reject. It always fakes people out. It's going to go up and then reject, most likely. From those news. Grab that liquidity to move down. Thank you. Thanks for showing me that. That gives me even more confirmation for my trade right now. For my fake trade that I'm taking right now, because I didn't feel comfortable with, I guess now news, but as well as the higher time frames at. I didn't feel comfortable with this consolidation. This is what I'm looking at right now on my other screen. This is why I didn't feel comfortable with this. Just to be honest, guys, we're still bearish even on the higher time frame technically, even though we are showing continuation from manipulation. For anyone new coming in. So that's why I didn't feel comfortable with taking it. I mean, I do believe it will work out, or else I wouldn't show it. Would have had 3 trades that would have worked out today. Kind of frustrating. Mino, are you still there? Did you end up retaking it when it grabbed liquidity? I don't know if you ever exited. I know you expressed interest of just setting and forgetting, and I kept on talking into your probably into your phone or your computer. No, you didn't retake it. Okay. I think it's fair. Either way, it's fair. Oh, you never took it? Okay, good. Don't always follow me. This is just a really good market for my strategy. A really good market. That's why I'm basically trading Asia today. Last week was the worst possible week for my... This is the... you probably heard a whole rant. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating this one more time. Why did I decide to start trading my funded accounts again? Thank you. On this hell of a week. This hell of a week. Why did I do this? Why the hell did I decide to come back from a break and start trading this again? And I got caught in consolidation, and then I got annoyed, and then overtraded, and then destroyed every bit of happiness I had built for the past few months. Oh, the trade worked out. Yes. Well, let's see how the setup. Do you remember that micro setup I was talking about earlier? Let's see how that works out. I want to see. So basically, all I want to see here. You could take a quick scalp on it, maybe, but we need to see how it reacts here. Is it gonna? Once we get the confirmation of a move, it's a little bit riskier. It's probably a lot riskier now, just because we're closer to this high. This is again a rejection zone. We've already grabbed liquidity here. I'm a little bit worried of when this is gonna reject. Still bullish. I like following the trend. I mean, if you want to play less risky, let me say it this way. No, it's still just, it's bullish, but it's risky. And that's all I'm going to say. It's a risky trade. It's like you're forcing it. but there could be confirmation for a very short-term trade. So let's see if it shows up here. Made it an equal high here. It hasn't shown up yet. So all I'm looking for is this is microstructure. So microstructure will hold temporarily usually. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm very worried about it. Always comes up. That's what the phases are for, right? You have consolidation, you have manipulation, you have continuation for the trend. Consolidation, manipulation, continuation. And that's how it always is. And you use the higher time frame to determine where you're at on that lower time frame trend, or the same thing as you use a higher time frame to determine where you're at on the high time frame. But right now we're in continuation. So I want to see once we grab this high. I can't actually tell. It's a weird one for me. Once we grab this high, I want to trade the discount area down here. So like, let's say we grab this high, we start reversing back into this zone. I want to trade the discount area, and all I want to take is a 1-to-1 trade here. Something like this. That's all I would want to do. 1-to-1, 1-to-1.5. I wouldn't target anymore from these micro zones. So let's see how this reacts. So let's see if we break this high, we get a retest. We haven't broken it. Is that a break? That's a break. You know what? I'm going to take this with a very small position size. Let's see if I would get it. So let me move this down. Discounted zone right here. See if it will give me in a position. Up. Still up. You can see my box. Don't follow me. If this is not something this is a risky trade. I'm downsizing by it's 1/3 my position size just to see if it would work out. Order filled. So just recognize I'm doing 1/3, not even that. But again, targeting a 1-to-1.5, which is $30. Or what is it? $35, 36, somewhere around there. This would be my take profit a little bit before grabbing the high. So just be very careful. And it doesn't even have a great zone where it could hold, to be honest. You're going to see some manipulation right here, most likely. Don't be worried. Be worried if it closes below here. But don't be worried if you see a wick grab below here. Be very worried if it closes below this. I'll draw the line for you. There you go. So if you see a close below that, get out even before it hits that take profit. If you're in it, just be very careful. This is a risky trade. Very risky trade. Be aware of that. A very risky trade. I'm gonna trail this though. Oh, it hit my take profit, but I was gonna trail this each green candle from now on. It hit my take profit, so this is what you call my heavy scalping. I hit my 1-to-1. Still could go up. Still probably will go up. Just be very careful now. Very, very careful. Please be very careful. That's why that's why I trade a 1-to-1 for this. And downsized a lot. Like a lot. This is even one. My normal position sizing $150. What was that? 1/5 my normal position sizing, maybe. I don't know. I just wanted to see if it would work out, if I could get a little extra money tonight to buffer me for tomorrow. It's a small scalp. It's going to come manipulate right here. Again, you do not want to see this hold below. That's why I said it's going to come manipulate. It always will manipulate. You do not want to see it hold below here. If it closes below that point, then get worried. If you took it on the upside at 29,886. All the way down here. Oh, where I mentioned earlier. A little bit late, but yeah. Where would you be? Let's see. Oh, this is working out too. This is going to end up coming above to your take profit around a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward. Most likely. Again, I could be completely wrong. I don't like how this can consolidating, but I hope I'm right. 29,886. Let's see. 10 contracts, 110 pips, ticks, roughly 50 cents per tick. It came up, you hit your 1 to 1.5, get out. If you're in this, get out. Please get out. Be safe and get out. If you didn't have a take profit order where it would just automatically take you out and you're just holding it, get out on the next red candle. Get out now. I don't care either way. For anyone that's taking this as a simulated trader or other way, just be safe. 110 contracts, roughly around $600, I think. I think it would be $600. Yeah, 10 contracts, $600. 550, 600. I don't know where fees and commissions would come into that, but that's 110 times 5. Yeah, 550 probably. Next red candle you could get out to, but this is what's known as a micro confirmation using the discount zone. And this is my own creation, by the way. This is my own strategy. I've not seen anyone else do this type of strategy. The inverse fair value gap has existed for a while. I just provided rules for myself, and it can easily confuse you in the market during consolidation periods. So if you ever see a market that's consolidating, don't trade that day or don't trade that strategy that day. Still not a red candle. I mean, there was a red candle, but still not an important red candle. Not yet. And I'm out. I would be out again. Let's see what my actual risk to reward would have been right here. We get out this red candle, 1 to 1.38. We get out up here, 1 to 1.5 would have been the main target, so you would have been out. Ah, now so this was risk, but this still had some sort of strategy between it. Now it's FOMO. Now it's fear of missing out. And be careful, because I am the king of fear of missing out. Go watch any of my live streams. I am the king of I'm the king of FOMO. I'm just at one. That's great. You're in profit though. You can end the day in profit. You have 30 are you doing a challenge right now? It is still going up. It's still going up, but you also need to realize that you're extended now, right? And are you gonna buy a toy or a iPhone that's 20% above value? You need 3K. Yeah, Top Step. I'm doing Top Step. This is a Top Step account as well. This is the main one I traded on today. Two trades. I risk $200, $150 per trade. Target $400. I've passed several. The issue is not passing a Top Step funded account. Again, I'm the king of FOMO. I'm also the king of liking to take trades. And I'm really trying to control that. So you can go watch any live stream and you'll see me not follow my strategy, even though I have it written down on a journal that can be downloaded for people. And written down, and I use that journal every single day and write in it saying, why the hell did you not follow your strategy? You messed up on this, 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 and this. You need to do this, this, and this. And when I'm trading some days, I'm like, lolly, just, oh, who cares? Who cares? I passed several challenges, so many challenges I passed. I've withdrawn out of a few challenge. I've withdrew money out of a few. Uh, but when I was profitable was not when I was doing challenges, to be honest. No problem, man. I'm glad you joined in. I will be trading at 10:30 tomorrow. The market moves a lot quicker, so my call outs will probably be delayed. I'll try to make higher time frame call outs, but any call outs I make probably be delayed a little bit. Also, if I'll be honest, if I start trading and if I see a market moving sideways or I don't like the market, I might just end stream immediately. To be honest, I don't. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm glad you made some money though. Be very careful about over risking though. Just have a set risk, have a stop loss, have a take profit, let it sit and walk away. Nope, no news. Tomorrow's gonna be nice. What's even gonna be nice is during Labor Day when I don't have to trade and I don't have to get addicted. I'll make the last call tonight. Um, this is gonna come down, grab this liquidity, come down, grab this liquidity. This is a crazy shout, by the way. Come down, grab this liquidity. Most likely will come down to 29,883, but it's the higher time frame doesn't confirm that. So again, I would never take that trade. Have a good night. I'm ending my stream as well, man. Thanks so much for joining me. For anyone else, I'm gonna advertise myself for 1 second. If you enjoyed anything, the only thing that I use actively every single day is Whatnot, and it basically gives me $10 and you $10 if you download the app and use the code that I have in the description. That's the only time I'll sell out, and I sell out because I use that app so darn much that it's nice to have any money for it that doesn't come out of my pocket, to be completely frank. I'm very much addicted to swiping on that thing. I'm very worried that this is going to come down. It could continue up. This is a order block. Realistically, you should always trade with the trend. So if I was trading with the trend here, you would take this trade. You would take a long position upwards with expecting it's not going to grab this liquidity. But just from my experience, this is manipulation most likely. It's going to have manipulation, probably come down to here and come up. Who knows? I might be wrong. That's a rogue shout. That's a crazy shout by me. Rogue shout? You know what? I'm probably wrong, but I would never take this trade anyway. This would have been my main trade down here. Have a good night, guys.